You're not supposed to be on the property.
And I'm
Yes,
happy to
we have
leave
to
the
make sure
property.
you have insurance and a driver's license. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. It makes sense if you pull me over for an infraction.
That's not how this works, sir.
This man was told to leave what appeared to be private property. As he calmly drove toward the exit, Officer Martinez from the Benton Police Department stopped him. The officer claimed they needed to verify his driver's license before letting him leave, a complete lie, just to get his driver license. But this man knew he hadn't committed any traffic violation, so he refused. By the end, you'll see how he completely shuts down the officer's bluff and forces them to walk away, a moment you won't want to miss.
So you're about to drive off, and I want to make sure you have a valid driver's license. Because you're not supposed to be on the property.
Well, and so
Yes, sir. So you're about to drive off, yes, sir. So I need
so
to
I'll
see your driver's
accept
license to
being
make sure-
trespassed, but I don't want to be ID'd.
Okay, well, you're driving off, right? We have to make sure you have a valid driver's license.
When you
Does that make sense?
no, when you have
How does that not make sense?
when you have an infraction to pull me over for, then
Well, we're here. We want to make sure you're able to drive off. You have a valid driver's license to drive off, right?
I understand
so you're
that
not
you want to
operating
do
a motor
that.
vehicle without a bad license, right?
And do you
So
suspect
we
that
got-
I don't have a license?
Well, we got to make sure.
No, you don't.
Yes, sir. We do. If you're driving off, yes, sir.
No, yeah, you can't just pull people over for.
I'm not pulling you over. I'm making sure you have a driver's license for you to be able to drive off.
And what makes you suspect I don't have one?
We got to make sure. We got to double check. Do you have insurance on the vehicle?
Surely do.
Okay. Do you have that with you?
Surely do.
All right. Can I see that?
No.
You have to have insurance to drive off, yes, sir. And you have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle, right? Does that make sense?
Surely does.
Okay. Well, we have to make sure that's what's
and
going
when
on.
you have a reason to suspect
We
that
do.
I
Well,
don't,
we have a reason that you got to drive off. Because you're not supposed to be on the property.
and I'm
Yes, and
happy to
we
leave
have
the
to make sure
property.
you have insurance and a driver's license. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. It makes sense if you pull me over for an infraction.
That's not how this works, sir. You're not supposed to be on the property. You're going to have to drive off in your vehicle,
Right.
right? And for
And
us
that's
to let
and
you
that's
do-
the
and for us to-
trespass.
and for us-
I'm accepting being
Hold on,
trespassed.
hold on. For us to let you do that, we have to make sure you have a current driver's license and insurance for the vehicle.
What makes you suspect I don't have it?
Well, we have to make sure.
Am I under arrest?
No, you're not, sir.
Then, unless you've got me on an infraction of some kind, I don't have to identify.
Okay, where are you heading after this? So, where are you going?
Off the property, I guess.
Okay, but what's your next move?
Head off the property.
Okay. Are you gonna go onto any public driveway, like any public road? Is that where you're going?
Eventually, sure.
Okay, then we got to make sure you got a driver's license.
And when you see me with an infraction on that public roadway, then you can pull me over.
Okay. Well, we're not gonna let you drive off if you don't have a driver's license, sir.
Is your supervisor about?
He's watching.
And what's he got to say?
Hey, Sarge.
He's got to get off property.
I don't think we have an offensive play. Okay,
All right. Cool with me. All right, you're good.
Thanks. You
Have a
guys,
good one.
you have a good day.
Yes, sir.
This officer had absolutely no legal grounds to demand this man's driver's license. This was not a traffic stop. He hadn't committed any traffic violations, and the property owner had told him to leave, and he was doing exactly that when Officer Martinez decided to block his way and out of nowhere claimed they needed to verify his license. That statement was a blatant lie because there was no lawful reason to check it. The officer even tried to claim he hadn't pulled him over, which made no sense. If that were true, then why stop him, ask for his license, and waste his time? It was pure intimidation, the behavior of a tyrant looking for compliance rather than following the law. But this man knew his rights, stood firm, and refused to be bullied. His calm, knowledgeable pushback left Officer Martinez with nothing to stand on. In fact, the second officer eventually admitted that the man was correct. That's when Martinez backed down, told him he was free to go, and walked away. This was a textbook example of why knowing your rights matters, because when you do, even the most determined officers have no choice but to back off in shame.